Mom reprimanded her, saying we're not keeping a tally book, but I am. I can't stop myself. I kept a record on my phone, jotting down dates and figures. I never shared it with anyone. I told myself it wasn't a weapon. It was evidence I wasn't imagining things. My birthday wish list was just a polished version of what we already were. 7 invoices with amounts. Water, $71. Cable and internet combo, $119. Family cell plan, 4 lines, $180. Dad's pickup insurance, $142. Kayla's course fees, 2 months, $1,200 total. Grandma's medications, $94. HOA overdue charges and current fees, $436. Subtotals scrawled in Mom's precise math teacher script, $2242. Due date circled, 30 days to settle, written in Dad's bold, sergeant-like print. I asked why Kayla's fees were listed. Mom said she needs to complete her training. Kayla said recovery isn't a straight path. And the course included a ceremony with a white gown and a rented chair in a hotel banquet room. She'd already shared the gown on her Instagram story, captioned soon. Dad said a man supports his household and gave me that look he gives the TV when the quarterback fumbles a pass. Then there was the truck. Dad mentioned a refinance deal if I'd just co-sign for a better rate. He tossed it out casually, handing me the paperwork. We'll cover it, he said. It's for the family. The last time he said family asterisk like that, my credit took a hit from an unauthorized inquiry. He called me theatrical and said I should be proud of my high credit limit. Mom loves her sit-downs. 2 days post-party, she sat me down with a notepad. Let's map this out, she said. You can handle the phone bill, water, HOA, and Grandma's meds. Dad will take the truck insurance if you co-sign the refinance. Kayla will repay her course fees once her practice takes off. She said practice asterisk like she was opening a clinic. Kayla nodded gravely as if she were an authority on something unsearchable. I asked about the cake. It slipped out. I didn't mean it. Mom's lips tightened. We're discussing grown-up matters, she said. Grown-ups who need to eat, I replied. Dad leaned back. Sharp tongue, he said. Sharp tongues don't clear debts. Actually, I whispered they do. Kayla rolled her eyes so hard I thought they'd vanish. Money is energy, she said. Yours is so blocked. I'm saving for a used Civic, I said, for a deposit, for a life where I'm not a cash machine with chores. Mom tapped her pen. Don't be crude, she said. This is family. One Sunday, things turned sour in that subtle way we do. Aunt Linda visited and we ate pasta. Dad joked loudly for all to hear. Nate stepping up as the new breadwinner. Everyone chuckled. I chuckled too because my instincts know to laugh when I'm outnumbered. Later, washing dishes, Aunt Linda said, "You're so fortunate to be needed." She patted my shoulder. I dried a plate and thought needed feels like asterisk tool asterisk. The weight wasn't the bills themselves. It was the way they asked. It was the expectation that I'd be grateful for the chance to prove my manhood by shouldering 7 debts I didn't make. It was that they relied on my silence. The night after the party, Mom slid the paperwork toward me again while Dad flipped through channels. Kayla rehearsed her graduation strut in the hall, wearing the white gown she hadn't paid for. Mom's voice was honeyed. We'll all feel lighter once this is sorted, she said. I studied the pages. I imagined how quickly those lines would multiply, how the list would become a recurring charge, how my 21 would turn to 25, then 30, with reminders of we raised you and you owe us asterisk. I didn't overturn the table. I didn't give a speech. I just said I need time to think. Dad smirked. 30 days, he said. Men don't need more. Kayla paused in the doorway, snapping a selfie with me blurred in the background. Her story caption popped up, adulting mood asterisk. No cake, 7 bills. A countdown I didn't start, but everyone felt. I went to my room and sat on my bed's edge. I counted my cash and checked my banking app. I opened my notes and scrolled through the record of small favors turned permanent. $20 here, $83 there, $142, $180, $436. Numbers that built a ladder to a place I didn't want to go. The issue wasn't money. It was ownership. They wanted mine, and they wanted it with gratitude. 2 days later, Mom set up a family review like we were a corporate team. Sunday at 5, marked on the fridge calendar with a star and a smiley. Bring your plan, the note read. At 5, the living room was a conference space. Chairs in a circle, notepads, pens. Kayla brought tea in mismatched cups. Dad sat legs spread, elbows on knees like a coach before a rally. The paperwork sat in the center, 7 pages under a ceramic coaster's weight. Mom began with, "We love you. In our house, that's the prelude to a bill." I sat. I placed my phone face down. My heart raced, but my hands were steady. I'd spent the morning at the library reading about co-signing, liability, HOA fees, and late charges that cling to your name like tar. I'd also read about locking your credit. Not yet, but I knew how. Mom waved her pen. Here's the plan. Nate takes water, cable, phones. He's already covering them, so no change. He also takes the HOA because he's good with paperwork. Dad will handle the truck if Nate co-signs the refinance. No, I said, silence. The clock ticked loudly. Dad blinked slowly. What? No, I repeated. I'm not co-signing. I'm not funding Kayla's course. I'm not taking on the HOA. I'm not the family bank. Mom's smile froze like a paused video. Sweetheart. I'm not your sweetheart when there's paperwork, I said. I'm Nate, and I'm not signing. Kayla snorted. So selfish. It's just a signature. It's not, I said. It's joint liability. It's my credit. It's my name on your debts. It's me paying when you don't. I'm not doing it. Dad leaned forward. Watch your tone. This is my tone, I said. It's calm. Mom softened her voice. We won't ask for more if you help us through this phase. You said that last phase, I said, and the one before. We raised you, Dad said. We fed you. And I paid rent since 16, I said. You took my console for your lease. You put your truck insurance on my card. You called me cocky when I asked for proof. Kayla made a sharp sound. Wow, so you're keeping track. Yes, I said, and let it linger. Because I'm the one footing the bill. Dad slapped his knee. Real men don't count pennies with family. Real men don't hand their son a bill instead of a cake, I said. Real men pay their own insurance. Mom's eyes flared. Don't speak to your father that way. He's treating me like a checkbook, I said. I'm responding. Kayla crossed her arms, gown slipping off one shoulder artfully. My ceremony is in 2 weeks, she said. You're wrecking it. No, I said. Debt is wrecking it. Choices are wrecking it. My no is just honest. This feels like you're bullying us, Mom said. You're punishing us for not being like you. This isn't about vengeance, I said. It's about limits. The words landed heavily. I meant them. I wasn't slamming a gate. I was stepping out of a role I never chose. Dad stood towering because towering is supposed to shrink me. You think you're clever because you read some blogs, he said. You think you can ditch family. You can't. I'm not ditching, I said. I'm stepping out of your budget. Mom's voice sharpened. Then you're out of Thanksgiving. Out of Christmas. Out of this house until you recall who gave you everything. I looked at the paperwork, the 7 sheets, the line waiting for my signature. I recall, I said. I also recall the console, the rent, the phone plan, the truck insurance, the time you used my card and said I was lucky to be useful. Kayla rolled her eyes so hard I thought she'd hurt herself. Want a trophy? No, I said. I want a line. Dad laughed that harsh laugh that means he's done talking. Line, he said like it was a weak word. Here's a line. You've got 30 days to pay. I stood. My legs felt solid. Here's mine, I said. No. Mom's face crumpled, then tightened. You'll regret this, she said. Maybe, I said, but not as much as I regret not saying it earlier. I picked up my phone. I left the paperwork. I didn't slam anything. I walked to the door. Kayla muttered, drama queen, like I'd thrown a chair. I gripped the knob, paused, and turned back. If you need to discuss Grandma's meds, I said softly, call me directly. I'll help her, not the HOA, not the truck, not the course. I'll help Grandma, the rest is no. You don't get to pick, Dad said. I do, I said, it's my name. I left. The hallway smelled of someone's dinner and budget detergent. Downstairs, a neighbor's kid rode a tricycle. The sky was pink like a postcard, and for once I didn't scoff at it. I wasn't free yet, but I was steady. The line was drawn. The meeting ended without fanfare. The paperwork stayed on their table. My name stayed mine. Back in my room that night, I sat at my desk and opened my laptop. The screen's glow felt like a fresh page. I didn't give myself speeches. I took action. First, I locked my credit, 3 bureaus. I double-checked the steps to avoid mistakes. Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, security codes, confirmation emails. The pop-ups were intense. Are you sure? I clicked yes 3 times. I wrote the codes on a note card and tucked it into my receipt box. Second, I removed authorized users. Mom had used my card for rewards. Dad had the number for emergencies, which included tires and a power tool. I called the bank and requested a new number. Any pending charges? The rep asked. 2, she said. 1 for a nail salon, 1 for a gas station. I said cancel the card. New one in 3 to 5 days. I set up alerts for anything over $1. Third, I logged into the cell plan. 4 lines, 1 account mine. I paid the current balance because I didn't want to cut off their phones out of spite. Then I scheduled a plan change for the cycle's end. My line only. I sent Mom a screenshot of the transfer link and wrote, "You'll need your own account by the 28th. She replied instantly. How could you? I set my phone down and kept moving. Fourth, I unlinked the water bill. The city's website was ancient, but I switched autopay to manual, removed my card, and emailed the transfer form to Mom and the HOA's generic address. Subject account transfer request. Effective this cycle. I CC'd Dad. I printed the email, stapled it to the original bill, and filed it in the box. Fifth, subscriptions. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. I changed the passwords and logged out all devices. The downstairs TV pinged with a sign-out notice. 5 texts came in a minute. Kayla, seriously? Mom, petty, Dad, immature. I didn't reply. It wasn't punishment. It was cleanup. 6th, the gas card Dad set up for family emergencies. I called and closed it. The rep asked why. Because it's not my emergency, I said. She chuckled, then cleared her throat. 7th, the bank. I moved my savings, $53.20, to an online bank with a trendy name. I enabled two-factor authentication everywhere and changed my email password from the lazy one I picked at 14 to a random string. I made a spreadsheet called Exit with 4 columns. Account, action, date, confirmation number. I filled it as I went. It felt like crafting a small boat as the tide shifted. Click, confirm, note. Click, confirm, note. The phone lit up with notifications climbing like a stock ticker. 12 missed calls, 19:31. The group chat exploded. Mom used full sentences with my full name. Dad sent short, all-caps texts. Kayla posted a black screen on her story. People reveal themselves when you need them. Her followers dropped hearts. I felt nothing, then guilty for feeling nothing. At 10:42 p.m., Dad called. I answered because I wanted him to hear my voice say no again. What did you do? He demanded. I protected my credit, I said. I removed my cards. I stopped paying for things I don't use. You froze your credit, he said, like I'd scratched his truck. Are you crazy? No, I said. Sane is not giving you a blank check. This is conflict. It's maintenance, I said. If you want your own plan, get your own plan. If you want truck insurance, pay for it. We're your family. You are, I said. You're not my lenders. He hung up. Mom called a second later. I let it go to voicemail. Then Kayla. Then Mom again. Then an unknown number. I turned on Do Not Disturb for everyone but Grandma. Grandma texted at 11:05. Sweetie, are you okay? Love you. I called her back. I said I was fine. I told her I'd cover her meds directly. No middlemen, no debts. She said, okay, dear, in that tone that says she understands more than she lets on. I slept, fitfully, up at 2:13, 3:27, the kind of night where your mind replays a meeting you've already walked out of. By 7 a.m., 43 missed calls. At 7:15, a knock like a TV cop. Dad at my door, I didn't open it. He texted, coward. I replied, boundary. He wrote, fancy words won't save you. I typed and deleted 4 responses. Then set the phone down. Not everything needs a reply. I went to work. I shelved bolts. I cut keys. I hauled salt for a lady with a van. At lunch, Mike from Electrical asked, you okay? I gave him the short version. He nodded like someone who's done his own calculations. Need a room? He asked. My roommate's out next month. I stared at my sandwich. A door opened in my chest. How much? I asked. $600 plus utilities. Month to month. I thought about the receipt box, the spreadsheet, the paperwork. I thought about the banner without a celebration. I'm in, I said. That night, I packed without fanfare. Clothes, the receipt box, the laptop, my favorite mug. I left the little league trophies and a handprint craft from 2nd grade because those belonged to the me who thought every favor was temporary. I wrote a note. I'll contact Grandma about her meds. Do not come to my work. Nate. I taped it inside my old closet where Mom would find it when she tried to tidy my life. Mom called at 9:03. Family meeting. Tomorrow, 7. Mandatory. I texted, I won't be there. Dad, you will. Me number Kayla, you're ruining my ceremony. Me, I'm not funding it. Silence. Like a storm cloud unsure where to rain. I changed my number the next day, not out of malice, for peace. I sent the new number to Grandma, to Mike, to my boss. I stood in line at the DMV and updated my address. I bought a $30 cake from the grocery bakery on the way to Mike's, stuck a 21 candle in it, and lit it with a match in a kitchen that didn't echo with my family's voices. I cut a slice. It tasted like sugar and calm. 2 days later, a certified letter arrived at Mike's, from the HOA, addressed to me at my old address, forwarded by some miracle of paperwork, past due. $436. I took a photo, forwarded it to the HOA with the transfer email attached, and CC'd Mom and Dad. Subject, wrong recipient. Transfer already requested. I hit send and felt no drama, just a click. Messages kept coming. Aunt Linda left a voice note about Grace. Mom tried a gentler tone, come home and we can fix this. Dad sent a photo of his truck like it would sway me. Kayla posted her gown again, captioned, "Some don't cheer, cheer for yourself." I didn't cheer, I did laundry. I went to work. I made a budget with 3 lines. Rent $600, utilities $90, savings $300, the rest mine. For the first time, the numbers felt like my voice. The big shift wasn't loud. It was small, tedious choices my old life never allowed. It was ignoring calls from unknown numbers. It was telling Mike I'd clean the bathroom on Tuesdays and following through. It was buying a cheap planner and writing my own deadlines in my own script. It was answering grandma's calls every time. A week later, Mom texted from a new number, "Sign the refinance and you're welcome at Thanksgiving." I replied, "I'll be with friends." She wrote, "We won't forget this." I typed, "Neither will I." Then I set my phone down and poured water from a tap in a place where the bill didn't carry my parents' names.